Well, yesterday we took a look at American Art Deco, and I have to say I wasn't 100% thrilled with the quality of the photographs. But in this book, which by the way also came from Colleen, it was a birthday present. This book, the photos are magnificent. So today I'm just going to go through this book. Here, let me show you this, just so you take a look at that. This is a serious book. I'm going to go through this at random, no rhyme or reason. I'm just going to stop at the pretty pictures that catch my eye. So, when we come back, how about this for a starting point? On the right here, we have a compact. Now let's get in so we can really see what's going on here. This is diamonds, gold, and enameling. And we have a little catch over here. So I am assuming that's how this opens up. Frankly, this is way before my time. This is my grandmother's day, so I'm not quite sure how the makeup worked in that, but it is a stunning piece. And the one next to it, this is a change purse. Gold enameling. Is that not wonderful? Both from 1925, and oh my goodness, didn't our flapper grandmas have style? A little more from 1925. This is a brooch from Boucheron, and this is coral diamonds enamel. Oh, I cringe to think what that's worth. And this is a vanity case, so let's get in so we can take a look at some of the detailing here. Unfortunately, I have no idea how large this is, but since they're calling it a vanity case, I have got to assume that this and the brooch next to it are definitely not in scale. It's probably much, much larger. Beautiful. Beautiful pieces. And notice the last piece we looked at, the compact, had coral as well. So I am starting to think maybe coral was a pretty popular material in Art Deco jewelry. The truth is, I've seen a lot of coral pieces, but I had always assumed that was simply because I like coral and gravitated toward them. Now I'm starting to think it's probably because there was a great deal of coral out there. Well, now we're looking at some jewelry. Platinum, onyx, sapphires, oh my. This is late 20s. Same as this piece. This is 1929. Diamonds. There's a cabochon sapphire here, which I suspect might be this large clear stone in the middle. Platinum. Amazing pieces. Now these are crazy expensive, as are these. This is a beautiful brooch. Emeralds, sapphires, diamonds, oh my, in a platinum setting. These are earlier 20s. I believe this is 22, this is 23, and these are 20s. So, rock crystal and seed pearls. And this one, rock crystal again. Magnificent pieces. Frankly, I never thought rock crystal could look that good. And this one is jade. I don't know if you noticed, but there's a certain theme to this jewelry. These circles. See here, We don't actually have a circle here, but look at this. The circle, the circle. Apparently that was a very, very 20s motif. The pieces are just gorgeous. But as I said, we are talking fabulously expensive pieces, especially something like this. I expect that of everything we're seeing here, this is probably the priciest. Okay, let's just take this one in. This is costume jewelry. These, let me just move in a little. These are all imitation stones. Look at that. However, unless you get the idea that this would be a cheap piece, this was designed by Coco Chanel. So this bit of costume jewelry, assuming it hit the market today as an original Coco Chanel piece, yeah, I bet that would go for a fortune. It is amazing. It really is. There's no question about it. But so much of it is the provenance. And of course, you have to admit, it's a statement piece. But the fact that it is a Coco Chanel piece, that's what would shoot the value through the roof on this one. All right, let's shift gears here and take a look at some sculpture. This is Joseph Zaki. I don't know, I'll have to look him up. I would suspect he is Czech because of his name, but amazing Art Deco sculpture here. All three of these pieces are from the 1920s, and this one in particular is very, very reminiscent of American Art Deco, of Art Moderne. It is not. This is European Art Deco, and probably predates Art Moderne by at least 5 years. Nevertheless, it's got that general swooping sort of look that Art Moderne had. But in the meantime, let's just take a good look at these. Very modern for the time. And remember, this is the 1920s. This is not a time when people were accustomed to modern art. No, they were used to much more realistic representations of both people and, in this case, birds. But as I said before, I'm just going to go through and I'm just going to stop at whatever catches my eye. So, how about a little glassware? This is wonderful. These are just molded and etched glass pieces. In other words, at the time when they were made, they were not hand-blown, wildly expensive pieces. The gazelle here, by the way, is a very, very common Art Deco motif, and you'll see this on everything. These are lovely pieces. Let's take a look at this. Vases. This is probably a lamp. I'm really not sure. But yes, we have a sort of mushroom lamp sort of thing. And these as well. Glassware like this can still be had reasonably inexpensively. Now, I'm not going to say you're going to be able to go in and find it for $2 at a thrift store, although, to be fair, that has happened before, and it will happen again. But if you actually look for pieces like this in antique shops, in resale shops, you can find them, and ordinarily you can find them for well under $100. Some pieces, the handles, for example, will make that a little on the pricier side. Same thing with this wonderful gazelle, because a lot of people will recognize that as an Art Deco motif. That might shoot the price up, but pieces like this are still available and still very, very affordable if you just have some patience and look hard enough. And when it comes to affordable pieces, pieces like this, posters, labels, these are things that you can get very inexpensively. Perhaps not the originals, but these are being reproduced. Here, let's flip a page. And you can get these easily from poster companies. Beautiful, beautiful Art Deco images. And the poster companies in general are selling these for under $30 a piece. So if you want Art Deco art and you don't want to spend a lot of money for it, then my suggestion is check out the major poster companies, because they will have a very nice selection of reproductions of pieces like this, and you can get them suitable for framing. Sometimes with some of the poster companies, not all, with some of them you can get them printed on canvas. So I would say, yes, if you want a little deco in your home, that's a very affordable way to do it. Now, on the subject of posters, a piece like this is going to be expensive. These pieces, if you can find the originals in good condition, and of course the one that was copied in this book is indeed in very good condition because of the subject matter, which is a minstrel show, yeah, you're going to have to pay for it. Can you get this from poster companies? Absolutely, you can buy repros. Here is another very interesting poster. And again, this is the Art 20s, the 1920s Art Deco. Boy, I put those two together wrong. 1920s Art Deco sort of version of movie art, even though these were not for movie theaters. These were designed for live shows, live performances. This is an oil on canvas. This is going to be expensive. But over here, once again, we have a poster. Very easy to get these or posters similar just through the major poster companies, and they would be reproductions, of course. But again, if you're just looking for those Art Deco touches, perfect. And while we are on the subject of affordable art, this is a Harper's Bazaar cover, as is this, by the way. Now, these are very affordable. I have one of these. It was a gift from one of our viewers. I was admiring it at an antique shop, and she contacted the antique shop and had them pack it up and deliver it. It was very sweet. Again, same colorways, by the way. A sort of red, orange, really. An orangey red, white, and blue. I had it framed, and of course framing was more expensive than the magazine cover, and I have a great piece of 1930s art. It's just absolutely remarkable what you can do with odd little found things like this. Now, when you do manage to find an old magazine or just an old magazine cover, my advice is, if you're cutting it apart, cut it very carefully, because you're going to want to keep as much of the design as possible, including this stuff down at the bottom if you can, because that's very interesting, and very often it very specifically dates your piece. And then all you have to do is mat and frame it, which, by the way, you can have done for you if you have a Michaels nearby, or you can order your matting and framing online, and if you're at all handy, you can do it yourself. I did mine myself, mostly because I just felt like saving a little money on the framing, but it is not difficult at all. And you look at these designs, these are just so deco. My magazine cover is a little on the streamlined modern side, but those of you who know my taste in deco know that that's how it runs. This is a hugely affordable source for fantastic art. Harper's Magazine, Saturday Evening Post, they were employing the best artists of the era to do their covers. And as I say, you can get them dirt cheap. In many cases, you can go through old antique or junk shops and just prowl through their boxes of old magazines and take pieces like this home for $1 or $2 a piece. Never underestimate this as a source for great period art. Now, this is, of course, real art. These are paintings. This is the sort of thing that most of us would find out of our price range. On the other hand, if you ever wondered what real jazz babies looked like, here you go. Very impressive, huh? There's a whole bunch of naked jazz babies. Great. Okay, we're going to go down here and keep this family friendly. Very, very specific style of portraiture was popular in the Art Deco era, and this is it. All right, how about a little bit of lamps and lighting? This stuff is just divine. Look at that. That is not the sort of thing that I would have said was 1920s. I would have thought that was 1950s, but we've talked about that before. The 50s borrowed heavily from the 20s. It's interesting pieces, and we've got a lot of it here. This sort of amber glass with many little tiny shades was very common in the period, and you can still get lighting fixtures like this. They're not going to be as grand, but they're still out there, and they can still be had. This is lovely. We see lights in this style quite a lot. They're often called torpedo lights. It was a common style of lighting. And look at this one. We'll just crawl right up this floor lamp. Very, very interesting. Here, just a little bitty desk lamp. This one. Now, this, of course, is a magnificent chandelier. I would say that is going to be one of the pricier finds, if you can find it. Pieces like this, though, are probably going to be a little more affordable. This one, I expect, is going to be on the higher end as well. It's just a beautiful table lamp. And they did a lot with table lamps in the 20s. This is a great ceiling fixture. It's very deco, but it also has a lot of Art Nouveau influence, which I'm sure you've already figured out. This is just lovely, as is this one. Very much nature themed. This one looks like a lily opening. This one has the birds. Floor lamps. This Portraiture style was very popular in the 1980s, too. It was just sort of a resurgence in popularity. Wall sconces. They were big on wall sconces. The reason for that is when they had gas lighting. The gas lighting came through pipes in the wall, like sconces. So when electricity came in, and we've discussed this before, people stick with what they know. And if they're accustomed to a gas pipe sticking out of the wall and providing light, when you get electricity, they're going to be thinking in the same terms. This one, very impressive. And interestingly enough, this looks very contemporary to me. I could walk into a lighting store and find something like this today that would be considered sort of state-of-the-art. These, again, beautiful little table lamps, desk lamps, really. Very, very nice. Here we go, another Portraiture. And again, you could probably find a lamp like this at a high-end lighting store today. There's another one. It was their style, as you can see. And this is just a magnificent ceiling fixture. Now here we have a very, very ornate ceiling fixture, and we have the illustration of that same fixture with the matching sconces next to it. Very, very impressive. And here we go. This is another doozy. Yeah, they liked their lighting. No two ways around it. And Art Deco lighting can still be had today. So I thought we would finish up on some of my favorite things. Porcelain. And this is a tea set, as you can see. The pot, the creamer, the sugar. And we're going to flip a page. Just one. And here we go. Art Deco porcelain. Dinnerware like this. Sugar and creamers, tea sets, they are still out there. They are out there in abundance, and they are not expensive. So, in closing, I just wanted to say you can have Art Deco yourself if you get the right pieces and you know what to look for. So, looking for good buys, look for posters, magazine covers, porcelain pieces like this, which are very reasonable, or, of course, our lovely tea set over here. Here's some more pieces. They can be had. If you want Art Deco, you can get it. All right, we are going to move out today on a slideshow, some Arizona flowers, and a little bit of Rebel and Marley. And that's our friend Lisa from DesertDragonworks, her little Rebel is her little granddaughter. Marley is her practically adult granddaughter. So, enjoy. I will see those of you who join us for the Just Chatting series at 8 o'clock tonight. For the rest of you, I will see you next weekend. Have a terrific day.